Hi, this is Bazi from Meslova. In previous session, we already discussed about the circulatory system in animals, especially the human beings. Now we have to know about another type of circulatory system and which is called as the vascular system present in another group of organisms, that is the plants. We know that the earth may be the only place in the universe with life, but this life is became more diversified because of them. They feed the world. They are the reason of many origins. Their incredible biodiversity provides us the food, shelter, and oxygen for billions of years. They may be the most precious life form on the earth. And their marvelous beauty makes us feel awesome and heaven. They are the designers, reconstructors, and recyclers. They are the saviors, protectors, and symbol of patience and wisdom. They are the most amazing energy making nanoscale machines. The plants. The only reason we survive because of them. But now they struggle to reach the light. They struggle to feed themselves. They struggle to withstand any calamities. They struggle for everything on this planet. The one and only reason to struggle is the human beings. Plants covers much of our planet, from a blade of grass to trees, flowers, bushes, or fern or mosses. You see is a plant. Large or small, on the land or in the sea, from the desert to barren area, everywhere on this planet which is covered by these plants. Without them, we could not survive. Plant creates food from the sun's energy, and they are the foundation for almost all the food chains on this planet. Plant produces the oxygen in the air we breathe, which is reason for to keep alive us and helping animals to stay alive. Plants also create important habitat where animals can live and provide humans with many natural resources. Plants are very special on their cellular level, because at the cellular level plants are made up of special type of cell wall, because plant doesn't have any skeleton to withstand due to this cell wall which is very rigid and made up of cellulose. Without this strong and hard cell wall, plant cannot withstand even from the tall tree like oaks or from a short flower stalk, cannot withstand. In fact, most of the plants are green in color. That means they consisting of a special pigment, that is chloroplast, in which the green part chlorophyll is present. Chlorophyll is what allows the plants to make their own food material from various types of resources like carbon dioxide and water. In presence of solar energy, they carry the photosynthesis and they make a kind of sugar. That sugar is utilized by the plants to grow and to establish themselves, and also some amount of food which is stored in the form of roots, leaves or other different parts of the plants. In addition to making sugar, the plants also produce oxygen, which are very important resource, and this much of oxygen is not needed for the plant. The maximum amount of oxygen is released into the atmosphere, which is reason for the life on this planet. Plants cannot move same the people or some animals what we do, but they have special strategies to solve their own problems. For this, these plants have a miraculous movement of water, salts, nutrients, and which is very essential to carry all these biological activities through special type of bundles, that is the vascular system. In the process of evolution from single cell to multicellular organisms, in plants also the transportation is evolved from a simple diffusion, then to the osmotic pressure, and then to the vascular level, that is vascular bundles. But at the cellular level, the diffusion and osmotic pressures plays very important role at this cellular level for transportation. We know about the process of photosynthesis and how different parts of the plants are having their own functions, and now a special type of system that is very important to sustain by the plants, that is the transportation in plants. Have a look on this transportation in plants. How this is carried. The transport system in plants for moving food, water and minerals around. We have a beating heart and circulating blood, but what do plants do? Cut a plant, it doesn't bleed. So what happens? Instead, plants have their own systems. They have xylem, which moves water and solutes from the roots to the leaves, and a phloem which moves glucose made by the photosynthesis and amino acids to the rest of the plant. The xylem and phloem arrangement is different in the stem and the roots. The xylem and phloem are found in groups called the vascular bundles, and the position of these bundles changes for different parts of the plant. Both the xylem and the phloem are made up of rows of cells that forms a continuous tube running the whole length of the plant. The xylem vessels are made by the dead cells of elongated tubes that are impermeable to water and have walls containing lignin, a woody material. Because of this, the xylem vessels are tough, which is why the vascular bundles in the roots are in the center. They help prevent the plants being pulled out of the ground. They are also more protected in the center, whereas the stem has to resist being squashed and bent, and so it has the vascular bundles nearer to the edge to give the stem strength and support. The phloem vessels are also long, but they are made up of living cells, and they transport sucrose and amino acids up and down the plants depending upon where they are needed, whereas in the xylem the movement is just one way from the roots up to the leaves. So we know that water and minerals go up the xylem and amino acids and glucose go up and down the phloem. But how? This absorption of water is mainly carried out by root hairs. These narrow walled hairs generally or greatly increase the area over which water absorption can take place by osmosis, passing down the concentration gradient and into the root hair cells, cytoplasm, and then onto the xylem vessels. Water and minerals enter by the root hairs in two processes or two pathways. One is apoplastic pathway, another one is symplastic pathway. If water and minerals moves from the cell to the cell through interstitial spaces of the cells to the xylem, it is called as apoplastic pathway. If water and minerals moves across the cytoplasm and finally reach to the xylem vessels, that is called as symplastic pathway. The xylem vessels are long, narrow, hollow tubes containing no living material. The xylem transports water and soluble mineral nutrients from the roots to the other parts of the plant. About 95% of the water absorbed is lost through the stomata present in the leaves. This process is known as transpiration. At leaf, it causes transpiration pull and succession force. Because water molecules are cohesive, water is pulled up through the plant in the transpiration stream. Water also keeps the cell turgid, which supports the plant. The number of stomata is more on the lower surface of the leaves. If transpiration happens throughout the day, then there will be a great loss of water. This is controlled by the stomata opening and closing mechanism. During the daytime, water enters into the guard cells along with the potassium ions. This brings about a change in the shape of the guard cells and the stomata opens. During the night, the potassium ions and water molecules leaves the guard cells. Thus, the turgidity decreases and the stomata closes. These stomata on the leaf surface also act as a exchange of gases in plants. The transpiration stream also transports the minerals across the membrane, and these minerals are present in ionic forms. The food which is prepared in the photosynthesis and different types of amino acids are transported to throughout the body of plant is by phloem cells, and this phloem have two-way direction, up and down. And here the transport of soluble product of photosynthesis is nothing but translocation. Phloem cells consisting of less specialized nucleate parenchyma cells, sieve tube cells and companion cells. Transport of food in fluid can be up or down the stem to reach all parts of the plant. Hence, the transportation in plants is the function of xylem and phloem cells. The rate of transpiration in plants is depends on various types of environmental factors like temperature, humidity, wind velocity and intensity of light, and also adaptations of plant itself to various climatic conditions and its leaf structure. Due to this transpiration stream, plants are erected and the water is, this evaporated water is added into the atmosphere. You know how much of water is evaporated by a plant? It basically depends on the geographical area, plant type and its adaptations and different types of environmental factors. And also height also playing very important role. For example, the oak tree can transpire 900 to 1000 liters of water per day. A maize plant can transpire about 15 liters of water per week. 1 acre of maize may transpire more than 13,25,000 liters of water in a 100-day growing season. A big mango tree can transpire about 750 liters to 3,500 liters per day, depends on the conditions and season. Hence, you may observe that the forest areas are very cool because of this transpiration of water. It affects the degree of saturation of the air above. When air currents bring air which is already saturated to a forest area, it becomes fully saturated and comes down as rain. This is the reason why forest area receives more rain or rainfall. You know, the plants are attacked by number of insects, and these insects may damage the various parts of the plants to feed themselves. You know, different flies, especially the aphids, certain flies like male mosquitoes and especially the aphids, almost all these things are feed on the cell sap of the plants, and they suck all the cell sap especially from the phloem vessel because it contains water, amino acids and glucose. A complete food for a complete ready-made food is available directly from the plants for these insects. In agriculture fields also, the animals like rats, voles and rabbits, almost all these things are damaging the plants and their roots for this cell sap and nutrients available in the phloem, especially present in the plants. In the same manner, in forest also, various types of animals, they are scratching, they are damaging the barks and damaging the plants for these rich nutrients and cell sap during scarce conditions, and they are drinking and they are getting food from these plant cell sap. In this way they may damage the barks of the plants, and all they obtained nutrients and cell sap from the phloems of these trees and plants. In this process the phloem is damaged. That means the food which is prepared in the upper parts cannot reach to the lower parts of the plant. It may lead to the death of the plant. This is all about the miraculous movement of water, nutrients and minerals within the plants through this vascular system. All life on this planet, the plants, microbes, animals, including human beings, depends on these transportations to survive. This transportation is one of the amazing evolutionary process for carrying materials required at cellular level and eliminating waste from it. It's an amazing nanoscale adaptation by life to sustain and survive. Till now we understand the transportation in plants, and in previous session we also learned about the circulatory system in human beings. I concluded now the story of the transportation, that is the circulatory system. We will meet and discuss about another system of our anatomy. Until then, bye bye, thank you, see you soon.